Alright guys, hey guys, it's Ranger Ed. Welcome back to another video, and this is actually a part of somewhat of a new series that I've been actually thinking over for, I would say, the past month or so. And it's a bit of just me talking about what's on my mind at the very moment. Plus, it's somewhat kind of a new podcast. It's podcasty in format, but whatever you want to call it, it's literally just me with a camera, me recording whatever I want, some minimal editing here and there if I'm feeling like it. I have to do I Jesus but I really do have to apologize, guys. I have been extremely busy with like my personal schedule outside of this channel. But other than that, we're back and I'm doing something that is called the Triple R. Now, Triple R stands for Random Rambling Rants. Wow, go to title. Anyways, let's get back to who the intention of the video. So, what I've been really wanted to talk about, at least for what's on my mind today, is the current status of the United States.
Very sad situation. Such a sad situation.
This man I really got along with well. We had Little Rocket Man.
Triggered Trump trapped in mental health spiral as campaign panics.
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black.
Holy shit, what the fuck is happening? It's 2016 all over again. 2016, 2020, 2022, 2021 all over again. It's literally just been Trump just losing his mind. But it's pretty different during this election season, this current election season. So just to give you a rundown, at first, it was supposed to be Trump versus Biden, with Biden running as the incumbent, and Donald Trump for a second term in office in 2028. The thing is that when the first debate finally started to pop up, Biden looked horrible. He looked lost. He looked his age. He started to show his age, basically.
World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery he refused to go to. He was dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Wasn't doing very good rebuttals. His stutter was it was very apparent in that one, and he does suffer from a stutter throughout his life. It's just that in his later years, he started to gain a little bit more confidence, but due to his age, as of right now, it took over him, especially during the first. He couldn't even put like coherent sentences together. A lot of his points were also quite strange, and also he just looked lost in general. He just looked extremely lost. So here's the thing. A lot of us, we started to worry. I myself identify as a bit of left-leaning type of guy. I identify myself as an anti-Trumpist, right? I hate Trump as a president, also as a person, but we'll get into that. So, when that first debate sprouted out, everyone just started panicking, and when news started to circulate that, yeah, Biden was not going to, drop, or he has his intentions to just try to keep on running, we were all just panicking. However, what stopped him from running again was when everyone was, panicking. Everyone just started to panic, and they just said, you know what? I'm gonna put my own ambitions to rest, and I'm just gonna step down from the election race, and I'll let the now Democratic running Kamala Harris run on the Democratic ticket instead.
Rachel, the president, in a tweet just announcing that he is offering his full support and endorsement for Kamala Harris to be the nominee of the party.
And this is where I have to give props to Biden. Because at first, I truly believed that he was actually going to staying on the Democratic ticket. But after I say maybe behind-the-scenes talks with other officials, as well as his family and other members around his circle, he just said, okay, you know what, I'll step aside. And that was when everything just started to flip on its head. The flip just happened, and everyone in the Trump campaign they started to panic.
Kamala Harris, she's the original Haktua girl. That's the way she got where she is.
Lawrence, it is such a joke. Look at the other side. Oh my gosh. We had to basically get a proof of life.
Talked about the job that she did as vice president of the United States, a job, I will add, which has been a failure for the American people.
And ever since Kamala Harris has been on the upwards momentum for essentially an election win, at least during this election campaign, I really do hope, by the way, we get to see the debate. That'll be for another time. But yeah, when that debate happens, I really do hope it will be entertaining. I really want to see Kamala Harris just destroy Trump. A convict, aka Trump, going up against the former prosecutor of California, aka Harris. But that's going to be for another time, like I said. But anyways, now the reason why I'm saying that the Trump campaign has been on the panicking spree for the past, I don't know how many weeks or how many several days now, is because Kamala Harris has now picked Governor Tim Walz become her vice presidential nominee. Now, who is Tim Walz? Now, a lot of us outside of the United States, like myself, who living in the United States or hasn't been born in the United States per se, we really don't know much about Tim Walz. But from his entry into the election race, Tim Walz is by far, I think, one of the best picks that Kamala would have had. Of course, there were talks for like Governor Shapiro to be like her running mate to become vice president. But as I looked into it a little bit further, didn't really see like a good pick. But she ended up picking the best candidate or best pick possible, vice presidential candidate, because when Tim Walz was serving as governor, he has pushed pretty much the most progressive policies, at least by United States standards, like legalizing marijuana for recreational use as well as medical use. Hopefully, I believe he also signed into bill universal free meals for public schools. Like, that's all pretty good, right? I mean, he also probably even raised the minimum wage as well. And with all of that, his background also helps the Harris campaign, because in his earlier life, before he became a politician, was a public school teacher, so he knows how public schooling works. A football coach, so he has some really good athletes, I would say. That's even probably not. And then he has a track record for serving in the National Guard. And there's this accusation going around that he has committed stolen valor. Stolen valor basically means like, oh yeah, you're claiming to serve the army, doing heroic deeds when you did nothing in reality. The thing is, this accusation is quite false. It is true that Tim Walz served in the military. Again, he served in the National Guard. And his National Guard regiment, or like the regiment that he was part in, they were about to be deployed to Iraq. But the thing was, his regiment, he wasn't part of that regiment anymore. He was retired by that point so that he can run for Congress. But yeah, or run for governor, either of the two. As you can see, I don't really know much. I'm still learning about him. But this is spatting a lot of my thoughts into the camera. So, going back. So, the accusation for him committing that he has stolen valor, pretty much false, because again, he retired already by that point, from what I've heard, or from what I've read already, and that his regiment was pretty much already deployed without him. Even I think one of his old regimental mates have said, yeah, this is not true. At least this accusation of him having stolen valor. So, what is next for the Democrats? I'm just going to say it. Just ride out the wave. That's all they need to do. And the other thing is, Tim Walz's opponent, which is J.D. Vance, who is the vice presidential candidate under the Trump campaign, is by far one of the worst shits that I've seen so far.
Creepy, weird, out of touch.
Democrats say that it is racist to believe, well, they say it's racist to do anything. I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too, but.
-6 points. I will tell you, Aaron, I have gone all the way back since 1980. He is the first guy after immediately following a convention, a VP pick, who actually had a net negative favorable rating.
If there is like a book picture definition of a shitty asshole, it is J.D. Vance. Fuck it. He also has I would say, the face definition of literally a couch potato. If you know, you know. Ayo. Pause. But yes, J.D. Vance, by far one of the worst vice presidential picks that Trump could have made. I'm pretty sure, like, if they could have just rewind time and if they could, like, go back, they probably would not have picked J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance, he is a very, very weird figure. Trump is weird as well. All of the manga, all of the MAGA Trumpies, they're all weird.
These guys are just weird. That stuff is weird, people.
MTG, what's up, AO? But yeah, weird type of individual, couch potato face definition. Pause again. If you know, you know. But yeah, he is really. That's all he is. He's just weird, and a lot of his policies, well, it's similar to Trump's, of course, because it's Trumpy. But what I really find interesting about J.D. Vance is that way before he actually joined in alongside Trump, he was critical of Trump. Actually, he called Trump Satan way back in 2016, I think, or maybe that was like in 2020, 2018. It was within like 2016, 2018, where he called Trump Satan. And now he's his vice presidential pick. And another thing about him is that he's anti-Semitic. Very anti-Semitic as well. Same as Trump. Now, speaking of Trump, just very recently, he's been losing a lot of his mind, because on Truth Social, he has been posting so much. He has been posting so much. This man is on coke. Like, his campaign is going so bad that he is, like, posting on the rates of non-safe for work artists. He's posting on the same rates as hentai artists when, like, a new sexy anime character gets, like, revealed, which I find really impressive. But I really do find it quite sad. It's funny. It's sad. But if there's one thing that I don't feel, is that I don't feel bad for the guy. He destroyed the United States nation. That's all I need to say. Another thing is that he's been doing a lot of weird things just to try to get himself back. I mean, he recently did an interview with Aiden Ross, which wasn't even an interview. I mean, Aiden is not an interviewer, or Aiden is a good person. I'm going to say it right here, right now. I don't think Aiden Ross is a good person. I don't think anyone from Rumble is a good person. But that's going to be another video. I need to note that down. Ayo, that's going to be a good video. But yeah, Aiden Ross's interview with Donald Trump, it's one of those things where, for Trump, that is the last resort. He has gone on to the newest lows where he has to go on an interview with a Rumble streamer. And another thing about Rumble is that they don't really have that much viewers in terms of, casual viewers like us, in comparison to Twitch or YouTube. Even Instagram, even TikTok, they have more I'm pretty sure they have more streaming views. I'm pretty sure all of those platforms combined, automatically they have more streaming views than Rumble. And, like, if you combine every Rumble streamer, I'm pretty sure they just don't come close to the streaming numbers of Twitch, or of YouTube, or of Instagram, or of TikTok. Hell, even of Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. I'm calling it Twitter because Elon Musk is a fucking asshole. that's gonna be another video again. Banning out a lot of video. First one. God damn. So going back to the interview of Trump with Aiden Ross. Aiden Ross didn't really ask critical questions. He basically just glazes Trump all of the time, and it's at like a very, very weird format as well. Like they had like people in the back, which apparently I think it was like Aiden Ross's family alongside with I think some visitors of Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate because that's where the interview was held. It was just a disaster. Also, the mic for Donald Trump was not working properly. There like some noise gate issue because there are times where Trump's vocal cords just go very quiet to very very high. It's something that he needs to work. But he is the one who's old now. But since Biden's here, but yeah, like there was at one point in that live stream where Aiden Ross was asking Trump questions. Okay, describe these world leaders in one word. And then the leader of Venezuela got got pulled up, and Trump said, "Oh yeah, he's a great guy. I think he's a good guy. I think he does a great job, a fantastic job for managing Venezuela. I mean, Venezuela just became safe, very safe."
Well, I know it very well, and Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela. These tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer than many of our cities.
It became a very safe country because under his dictatorship, the streets are there's less crime, there's no crime at all actually. I'm not gonna do an impression. That's gonna people the wrong. Pretty sure shit all over. Yeah, that is something. But if there's one thing that Trump did slightly well, I would say, was when fuck me, I can't believe I'm saying. I can't believe that I'm actually gonna say that in my personal opinion, I think Trump is right on this one, at least to a very small degree, was when Aiden Ross said, okay, describe Kanye West in one way. And Trump said, unique. Some unique, strange, weird, something along those lines.
So he's very complicated. Let's say complicated.
But other than that, it was kind of like a no. It's kind of like a yeah, no-ish answer. Like one of those answers where it's like very vague. But to put Kanye West in one word, in my personal opinion, asshole. Done. There you go. So let's keep in touch with politics for a little bit, right? In the United States, politics is one of those many things where no matter where you stand, you're just gonna have all of every legion of alt right, the far left as well, just being assholes to you. However, if there's one thing that I know about lefties, they don't conjure up hate as much as they hate themselves. They hate themselves more than anyone else. That from personal experience, I know that because I've experienced that at one point. But I'm not going to get into that because that's going to be. But yeah, other than that, the election season, it's swinging into Kamala Harris's favor, and it's been exuberant, and it has been on the upwards upon upwards of joyful trajectory. I think in my own outlook on this, I think that JD Vance is a lot more responsible for Trump's own failure. Because a lot of the things that he says, every time he gets pushed in interviews, every time he gets cameras in front of his face, he just collapses. Same thing goes to Trump, especially when he gets confronted with like factual orientated questions, to say the least. And another thing is that ever since Kamala Harris has picked Tim Walz to be her vice presidential nominee, that contributed so much to the point where, in my own personal opinion, I would have preferred Tim Walz to be the presidential pick. In my own personal opinion, that would have been sick. But yeah, with the endorsement from Biden and the other Democratic members of the party, it's pretty certain that yeah, it makes sense that Kamala would be the presidential pick instead of Tim Walz. But hey, maybe later down the line we get to see Tim Walz in the White House instead, inside the Oval Office. Maybe later down the line. Hopefully Hopefully after maybe 1 or 2 Kamala Harris time in time in the public office. I would. So yeah. Other than that, I think that's all I can say. Because again, this is only the first episode, and you know, I kind of want to ease into it a little bit with talking one topic. I do have some ambitions to maybe talk about 1 or 2 topics, but since I'm talking about the United States politics as my first video in this thing, I think maybe it's best for me just for one. So yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching maybe this first episode of potentially the first series of the Triple R. Other than that, that's all I have for you. Go follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, because why the hell not? And Ranger at 64, burn out.